Alright, hi everybody. This is Don Derwin, and I'm calling it quits on this airplane. I've probably been working on it probably about a month, maybe. Equally, probably about maybe a little bit less intense than my American, but nevertheless, it's still was challenging. And the American that I made is the person I painted, and you can get this one at xplane.to or flightsim.com. And this one you can get it there also at flightsim and xplane.to, except I have not uploaded it at this moment, but by the time you watch this video it should be there. And if not, it'll be there shortly thereafter. And I'm going to make 2 videos. I'm going to make one of painting the airplane. I mean, the last part of my paint. Then after that, I am going to make a video of it doing a circuit, or just this time I'm gonna use the VOR with the ILS. Before I wasn't using the VOR with the ILS, and I couldn't find the ILS. But this time I'm going to use the VOR. Actually, I haven't really used the VOR yet in this airplane. I think maybe that's why I wasn't using it, but yeah, it'll be great help. Alright, but in this video, what I'm going to explain the most is the engine bitmap part and the tail, and maybe this part, which is not too hard. But mainly getting these lines straight. That is the most, I think, hardest part. Actually, if not one of the hardest things to do when you're making an airplane. Actually, I think probably the hardest part is, well, one of them, I guess they're both hard, is getting the first fuselage done here. But equally hard, I think, is the tail and the engine. Just especially in this one because of these lines. Actually, they're actually straps. What I figure that they are is that I really wasn't too sure, what they were at first, but now after I've been painting this airplane for 2 months, finally came to a conclusion what those things are. And what I do believe, which they probably most likely are, is they're straps of like really hard aluminum or something, or really tough aluminum, or maybe even not aluminum, maybe like something steel, something really strong, or I don't know exactly what material they are, but and what I do believe they are is straps, because they go into the wing, and what they do is they hold up the engine. I mean, they make sure that, because the engine produces a lot of thrust, and they don't want the engine flying off the airplane. And what I think it is, because one attaches here, and it goes inside, and it could be like maybe 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch or something like that. They could be. I haven't been there, But you see, look, they got a little tang here on this side here. And then I think they go inside the airplane and attach somehow, and then they come down, or a little bend or something. I think it's the thing to secure the engine to the aircraft, or just, you know, another thing to strap the engine in. Then they pull it really tight, you know, because I see it goes into the tail right here. That one goes in the tail. That one goes in the tail there. So that's what I believe those things are. Anyway, this is the tail here. And I'm going to go through the bitmap. And also, on this airplane, I put the antennas on. I was, on my American, I didn't really think about it too much. But I was just sitting there, looking at this picture. Well, yeah, I was doing a different picture. But, I was sitting here looking at this, you know, when I was, you know, finished with it. And I was just going to use what I had done with the American. I'm like, you know, the antenna is right there. I mean, why don't I use it? I'm like, yeah, good point. So I used the top one, the bottom one. I don't know. I didn't use this bottom one. I just used the top one. You can see it's a little bit different. But I think the top one looked better, so I used that one for all three of them. This is one thing I did different. And as far as this is the bitmap thing. And I mean, what you do when you make the engine is this curve here. When you first put it in, this is straight, but there's a little curve here. You see the curve. Actually, I don't think it's that much of a curve, but it's a curve, and the reason why the curve is there is because the engine is round. And you'll find out when you try and put that on there that my American wasn't so bad. I mean, my American was way worse. The lines were really screwed up on the American one. But on this one, when I put the engine in there for the first time, it was pretty straight. I mean, it looked pretty darn good, you know. The only thing was it looked a little bit big. But, and on my American, and you know, on this one I found out too that I had to move these things a little. I just moved these things because I couldn't figure out what was. I don't know if you can see this, but these weren't lining up. The straps weren't lining up with the bottom part, you know, because if you look in this picture, the strap, you know, lines up here on the tail, and you have to line those up, otherwise it's not going to look good. I mean, it's going to look awful. So then this comes down here, and you got to match this up with this part here. You got to match this one up with that part there. And so what I found out was, and for some reason I thought I did it perfectly right, but for some reason when I was doing it, I took this the shiny layer off, and I looked at it, and they were all not in the right spot. So I just moved these around in the paint program until they look right. But that was one hard thing that I had to do, and then. But I'll try to show you guys how to get this line in here to make it curve, and it's actually pretty hard, to be honest with you. You kind of, I don't know, when you're doing this type of thing, you kind of think it's hopeless, and then when you're working on it for a day, and then you go back, you come back the next day, and you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe if I just move this a little, it's starting to look a little bit better. And then as you work on it, you'll just like, oh, next day you come back to it, and you're just like, oh, you know what? This doesn't look too bad. And move this around, and wow, now it looks pretty good. But this thing, I think probably took me, I underestimated how long it took me, but I do remember the American one took me a long time also. It took me like 3 days to get this one done, and like one day I think I worked on it for like 20 hours straight. Because I know this stuff takes a lot of time, and I just want to get it done. But maybe 15, 16 hours a day I was doing it, and I mean, you wouldn't think it would take you so long, but it does. All you do is just take your time, and at first it'll be like seem like it's impossible, but then when you start putting the pieces in, you start looking at where the parts go and where the parts are on the bitmap, then you start to just kind of resize it and everything, because they're all going to be different sizes. It's never the correct size, but you gotta adjust it. And so I'll try and show you guys my process of doing it. I think these are all my pictures there. Yeah, alright. I think I'll leave this one up there. Alright, so I might as well go to the first one that I made, which would be this one. I'm using Adobe Photoshop 6. I don't know if the program is any better than what they got now, but I bought this a long time. I bought CS2, but like $700, but I bought it on eBay for like $400, and I got Photoshop 6.0 with it, and then upgraded to CS2, because the CS2 is like $700. And now they don't support the CS2 program anymore, so you can't use it. You can't even activate it. But then Photoshop Elements, I tried to make, it was working with Windows 7, and then when I got Windows 10, Photoshop Elements wouldn't work anymore. So I was using that one just because it was quick to load, so I was using that. And then I'm like, well, heck, that's not going to work. And so I tried to use Photoshop 6.0. At first, I couldn't make it work. But I found that if I install it right away, right after I install Windows 10 or something like that, I don't really remember what it was, but at first it wouldn't install. It took me maybe 10 times before I learned how to install it. But it does install into Windows 10. Also into Windows 11, because I had Windows 11, but I upgraded and my flight simulator crashed and everything crashed, so I'm never ever gonna upgrade to Windows 11. I don't care, because I was running Microsoft Flight Simulator. I had to install everything all over again from the beginning when I upgraded to Windows 11. Everything just, all the way from, I had to delete my whole hard drive and just start all over. So I am not going ever to install Windows 11 as long as I live. But Windows 10, it works. It works just as well. Because Windows 11, something was wrong with it, and it screwed up everything, and just, you know what, forget it. I'll just stick with Windows 10. But anyway, this is the first time I put it in here. You can see it's kind of, well, actually you can probably tell with this one. This is the first time I put the engine in, and I just put it in there. I do believe that the engine is just placed there. And you can see now I got the curve here. But I just placed this in there first to make sure. And one of the reasons why I do that first is just put the part in there and just put it in there and just fill up the bitmap as much as you can. And I think the reason, I'm sure I know the reason why to do that is it's just a quick, easy way to see what the darn thing's going to look like. Mainly because there's some stuff that you think's going to look good, you put it in there, and then if you sat on it and you didn't even look on the airplane, and you put days of work into it, and then you looked at it and you're like, holy wow, it looks like crap. Like, why did I even work on that thing? And some pictures will not look good. So the main thing to do is just fill up the whole bitmap, put it in there to see what it looks like. And if it looks good, continue to work on it. Because sometimes you think something's going to look good, but you look on it with the flight simulator and it just looks like crap. And then you'll know right away. I mean, regardless of, if it looks right or not, But just to get a general idea of what it's going to look like. And so I made like 4 of these. So I think I just placed that in there. And another thing I learned on this tail is these hinge things, I noticed that were only on one side. But I thought that was maybe a modeling thing just to save yourself some work. But I was looking at another airplane and like this tail is on the, so they actually really don't have them on both sides on the real airplane, because you can see that this does not have those little things there. So I'm like, oh, after I was looking at that, I'm like, well, yeah, that's right. So if on the other side, then I have these hinge things here, and would make sense because it's not going to work. Physically, it won't work. But so that's one thing that I learned also, just from observation, from 2 months of work on this thing. But all right. So how am I going to try to explain how I did everything? And I think the best way to do it is just to take it apart and put it back together again. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to look on here and make sure that like there's a no in the first tail pick copy. I think I'm going to just put no on here. I'm pretty sure that I will remember that anyway. No. That's just something that I learned recently, because there were times when you come back to this stuff and you don't know whether you should be clicked on it or not. And then you can't oh, but I'm not going to save this either, so well, whatever. I can. Yeah, I'm not going to save this at all. So I just don't want to. Alright. Alright. So I'm going to just start taking this apart here. Oh, this is there. The part I just put that in there. I just placed it in there. And and even though it's in the wrong spot, and here's what it looked like, you know, when after I resized it, so that it's all wrong here, but at least you put it in and get an idea of what it's going to look like. And it doesn't look too bad when you look on the airplane, even though it's not right. Okay. And then this one too, I just placed that in. Actually, I placed it in there, and actually, the first time I placed it, actually, that one ended up pretty much not moving it. I mean, I didn't even move it because it was just and then I didn't even have to adjust the color because sometimes you got when you go lower down, it's not as bright. I mean, you're supposed to like dim it, make it, you know, make it like a shadow or thing. And but this one, it looked really good all the way through, and it seemed like there was a natural dim there anyway. You see, I did not move this at all once I put it in, just to do make it look good. So that one, I was kind of relieved there. That didn't take as much work as I thought it would. American one, I really took me a long time. Okay, and then that one, and there. This is the first time I put them in. Then didn't you see, this is the whole engine. I just put it in the first time. Now this is the curve that you're supposed to follow. Nope. All right, and then okay, then that one, and then and this is that part. I just plopped it in there. And here's what it looked like after I resized it and everything. I mean, actually, you know, made it work. But it's kind of the same. I mean, I'm sure I moved it a little bit. A lot, actually, until I figure out where the heck it was. Alright. There. Because this tail, too, and here is where I moved it at a little. And, two, the one thing that, one kind of trouble I had with this is, this tail is, not correctly. You can see it's pushed the wrong way. It's a little bit past where it's supposed to be, and so it's like turned partially. So that's probably because it's not connected to anything and it just moved. So I ended up taking it out and kind of adjusting it, and that was kind of a pain, you know, to do, but I ended up making it look pretty good. You can see, you know, here is what it ended up at. And then the tail took me actually maybe a couple of days. I mean, putting that thing in there. Then the engine. I think that's the most. So what I did is I brightened it up. It's when it was dark, but I brightened it up. But and I had to move this.
a little, and I got rid of that thing because that's not. That's just because it's turned the wrong way. So, but and those are the holes. I tried to get them a little better in the spot. And actually, I was having trouble with these things here. Everything was just actually I was having trouble with. I don't know. Sometimes when things go wrong, you start getting careless and stuff, and just I don't know. I started just freaking out that everything wasn't working right, and I had to just put this stuff in and. See, that's what it looked like when I just put it in there. So that's after I adjusted it. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I know, I mean, I've spent, it took me 3 days to do this one, 3.5 days. And move that, I had to move that over. And see how you put stuff in, and you kind of just see where they go and. And I probably move those over a little bit. Make it look closer and move that over this thing, move that a little bit. I mean, that probably wasn't the right spot there. And then to oh, I think I was trying to move something, but I realized it was screwed up. So I and then that I had to move the hinge over down. The top hinge I had to move it down. So I just moved it down, and that I had to squish that. Or no, I had to pull it up. Not squish it, I had to pull that up because it wasn't fitting there. See, what you do is you try to put the parts in the right spot. You try to make it bigger or smaller, and try and cut it up and see if you put the eventually if you keep on messing with it, you'll get it in the as good a spot as you can. But this is, I guess, this is a tail squash. This is after I squashed it. Oh, and then this is a first tail pick. So this is the first time I put it in there. And this is a tail squash. But I guess I moved it in a different spot after I squashed it. Probably because tail squash probably fits better. I mean, I realized that it was a little bit off. But it's not only off, it was not even in the right spot. But another thing too, when I was making this, I noticed that when I was normally I try to get this crack right on or the hinge or whatever it would be, right on the real tail itself. But the fact that this hinge was off, I couldn't really get it in the right spot, and so evidently something happened. And when I put it on the airplane, after I finished it, this is after I already said okay, it's in the right spot. And I was looking on the airplane, and the whole thing that is off here. That's where this little thing is here. Oh, yeah, it could be. And it was all this So the hinge was still on my tail, not in the right spot. I'm like, oh geez, so I tried to make this bigger, but then it looked like crap because it was not made dimensionally the same, and looked. So I wasted a bunch of time for that 3 or 4 hours, maybe 3 hours or hour and a half or 2 hours. Trying to fix it, and I said, you know what, just get rid of the whole crack whatsoever. So I just got rid of the whole crack whatsoever, and then it was gone. Then you can't notice it just in the wrong spot. So that was my way of getting rid of it. I didn't want to do that, but that's just the way it happened. But actually, that's a pretty good way to get rid of the crack, though. Just cover it up. I mean, I don't know what all this stuff is. Oh, the triangles, what? Oh, this may be for down below. Yeah, here. See, here's the crack thing there. Oh, this is when I was covering it up, I think. Yeah, I was covering up the crack. Yeah, that's what I was doing there. You can see right here. White cover emblem. See, I just covered up the crack. And then I didn't have to have it in the right spot. So it made its own spot. In other words, see, then I moved that hole. I just covered up that hole. I kind of made it and I guess this is when I moved it. First tail pick. So this is the first time I put it in there. So you can see it. This kind of should be moved over that way a little. And this, I guess, think that's lined up. It's kind of lined up here, but it's a little bit in also. So I don't know. Maybe I didn't notice, but this looks like a little in. No, I can't see what all this stuff is. Man, oh, that's to make the engine brighter. And those are that from the American. I just put those in. Those are the hinges. Alright. So anyway, just put this back together. So I just lighten up these here to make that more shiny. And then first tail pick. Oh yeah, I started working on this tail first. So I got that in there. It's the first time I put that in there. Oh, and this is finished tail other side. Okay, so that's after it was finished, I guess. Yeah, this is actually after it was finished. So that's how much that's what it was at first, then that's when it was done. Or bottom tail fix. Oh, I think yeah, so this is when I moved the crack there. Yeah, I just covered that up there, and then I covered that one up there. And I got these holes probably in the right spot, and then triangles, I moved that one a little bit because I noticed that that was off, and then Then I resize that hole a little bit. I mean, then notice what you do is when you take it off, then look at the underneath it. So you would take all this stuff off here. So you wanted to resize this. So what you do is you take it and then you resize it, and see, now you can see where it's supposed to go. And so that's how you resize stuff to figure out, see the triangle. I resize it a little, got it more in the right spot, and then you just try and make the picture line up with where that's supposed to go. And then this is the middle one there, middle holes, and then you just start well, that is the cover. See, the crack is really right here. Well, this when I was doing it at an angle. This is another thing too that I learned from the wing. No finished tail, other side. So what I learned to take stuff apart is you go Control T. Oh, no. Okay, you go Control T, and then you can take the tail apart, because you can't take it apart like this, because you try to take the bitmap apart like this, you're not going to, it's not going to come apart. Like if I only wanted to take off the this part here, and I wanted it to be like, I wanted to take apart this whole thing right here. Well, here I suppose I can probably just do that once and then show you what I mean. And say take this, and then what you want to do is you want to and another thing, don't try to move the center point here, because it'll change the rotation of it. So when you're turning it around, so what I do is I just line it up here, because I know that this is straight. And sometimes I try to line things up, like if I was lining something up, I would try to line it up here or line it up here. But here you can line up it with the side here, So then so if I just wanted to take apart this part of the tail. So then I'll go here, and let's say I just wanted to take apart that, which I had to do to fix that the tail. And you go via cut. And then here you can take it, and then you can just pull it right apart like that, and it's all nice and neat. It's all one part. Otherwise, you can't. If you don't angle it, you can't take it off in one part like that, because I had to fix this. So that's how I was able to do that. And then and if you didn't like that, edit, undo, step backward, edit, step backward. And two, there's another thing too that you can do with this, with the Photoshop 6. You can because make it undo. It just takes up more RAM though. But this I only have it going to like 15 times undos. But you can make it go up to like even 200 or 100, I think. But for some reason I thought I had it set on that, and but for some reason it didn't. So I'm just well, I only got 15 undos, and then I can't. I'm screwed, But that's not too hard to figure out. But sometimes you really screw something up and you gotta undo it like 50 times. But I've only got like 15 times. Well, you got 15 times, then you're stuck with whatever you did. Either that or don't save it. Just start over. But anyway, all right. So all right, I did that, and so this is my American. I put this one in there too, and that's a good idea too. This is my American one, so I kind of got an idea of see how much time, effort I put into getting this thing in there. And I actually had to make this darker and darker and darker. That took me this probably took me 4 or 5 days, to be honest with you. I put a lot more work into here than, and two, look at this curve here. It's more of a curve than the other one. But this one still looks straight. But this was hard too. It was so clean too. I don't know. It's really a nightmare doing that. It really is. Anyway, I guess I don't do that. Those are hinges, and then okay, I'm gonna try and stop. Try to hurry up here. Okay, that's the tail squash. I realized that was in the wrong spot until you can see the hinges in the wrong place. So I had to then that's the part I just had to put there, and then leading edge there. I had to do that. Still got mother. Boy, it's gonna be. Then I had to move that, and move that, and get that in the right spot there, and then move the hinge. And the emblem I had to make a little bit bigger. And the bottom and tail rudder, I had to move that up a little bit. And that thing there, and then but I'm just gonna put this together, and because there's 3 more I gotta go through. Better stop BS in here. So I fixed it a little bit there, and move that was in the wrong spot, so I had to move that. And then I had to realign that a little bit, and then I should look up closer. And I had to fix that a little, and then fix that, and then down there I had to fix that a bit. And I had to move that over there a little, and move that. And I had to move that over a little and make that good, and I had to move that a little bit, and this is when I just put my tail in. I mean, my revised thing, I just covered up that whole thing there, because that's not supposed to look like that. So that was one of my methods of doing that. And anyway, that's there, and then I guess I had to move that a bit. And there I lighten it up a little. And I lighten that one up a little. I mean, lighten them up different amounts, because see, it's kind of a different amount there. And then there's my covered that up a little. I don't know what I'm seeing there. Probably because there's that thing. And it and there's the engine on there. There, and then that took me probably about 15, 16, 18, 20 hours just to get this part in there. Alright, now, don't save it because I don't want to save it. Anyway, I'm probably not going fast enough here. Alright, now, that was my first one. Then the second one is here. Because too, what happens too is you make those get so much that just copy the bitmap over and then start anew. Because you get too much stuff here, it takes longer to save it. And with this, I found out, I don't know if it's Windows 10 or Windows 6. I mean Photoshop 6 or Windows 10. Is at fault though. It doesn't work after it's so much stuff is in there. It just quits working. I mean, it don't. So I just start a new bitmap. Plus, it's too complicated anyway because you start screwing stuff up. Okay, now I just put the bitmap in here. Yeah, this is I just put the bitmap in one layer there. And this is when I was making the engine. So here I try to do this apart. And I put what I did was one thing I learned about when I was making my other one. I'm like, wouldn't it be nice to have this curve here? So I copied this over from my other one. So what I did is I traced with the pencil. I drew where this curve is supposed to go here. You can see here. See up close here. So I just did it with the marker or whatever. And I copied it from to where it was supposed to go, and I place this on top of it. So when I look at this, I can see where my lines are off. So otherwise, it's hard to tell where you're supposed to be. You know, see, so these lines are actually, you can see it's a little off here, a little off here. So I don't know, maybe that's why it was off when I was putting it in there, because this, you see, this is a little off here, and this is a little off here. That's a little off, and that's a little off. Maybe that's why I was having so much trouble with it, because I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, all I wanted to mainly do is make sure the line is straight. So if you don't have this curve in here, it's not going to look very straight. I mean, but actually in this one, this model, it did look straight the first time I put it in. It just was too big. But actually this one, it actually was kind of hard. I maybe spent too much time putting this engine in. It was a little harder than what I thought it was. So this I had to put in because it was making with the other side. I mean, it was transfer. But all right, now make sure. Well, I think I got all this. These, they're pretty much all straightforward here. I complete. Oh, this is when I put on another side. But so this is when I was, after I was finished with it, I was just trying to make this look better. And this, I just copied it. I copied this over and I placed it up there just because I needed something to put up there. Otherwise, there was a white spot there. So that's how I got that up there. Well, I mean, I just copied this here and I flipped it over, so it's the same. Just so there's something that, without a mismatch there. When you do that, when you flip it over like that, you put it the same spot where it was, even though it's opposite. Otherwise, there will be a mismatch there. But it's a way to well, here I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, this. Okay, so this is something that I learned that is probably one of the most things I've learned. So flip vertical. Okay. So if you try to put this where it's supposed to go, it's you're gonna see a big line here. You're like, what the heck, man? So no matter what you do, that line's still gonna be there because they're different colors. Because there's probably a million different colors in this thing, and you can't line up one color to the next. It's kind of impossible. I mean, it is impossible, no matter what. Because, like I said, there's probably a million colors in this one thing. You know, I mean, there very well could be, or I don't know how many, but I'm probably pretty close to that, maybe. You know, because there's all different shades. So then what you do is you go edit, then transform, and then flip vertical. There, and then you can match it up to right where it was supposed to go to begin with, because in other words, you're taking it from where it was and you're putting it back in, but the opposite direction. And it works out very well. Except, you know, sometimes you start to see a little, you know, just like you can kind of tell that it's backwards sometimes. But on this part, it really doesn't matter anyway. So, but then this one, I tried to make that little, to cover up that white part, because that's what I did here. I just copied this over. Well, you can probably see when because I just copied it over and I flipped it same way, but that thing was in there and I kind of didn't want that. You see, that's the same way I did here. And I just tried to cover it up. See here, this is what it looked like here. But I erased some of this and tried to make it fit. But that's where it was at first, you know. But I'm not going to move it because otherwise it's going to be in the wrong spot. And so you can tell it's kind of just flipped upside down. But then and that I had to move that a little, and then I got rid of the white thing because even though it's in the picture, it didn't look good, so I just got rid of it. And then so this is the part of the engine. So this is when the engine was in there at first. Then or no, I made the engine the right size, but it wasn't big enough. I mean, it needed to be smush. I needed to move it over. So I took it and I stretched it over there. You'll Control T and then you can transform it. And so that's what I did there. And then when I take this apart, you'll see how I moved it. And so I had to move this, and in here I should put my copy of the curve here. Just keep that there. So every time. So I realized that the curve should be moved over a little. So this is okay. I got to move it over a little. But the thing is, when you do that, though, it kind of screws up the picture. So you got to kind of do it slowly. So I moved it over slowly like that and tried to erase, and I erased here and erased and to make sure I didn't cover anything. I mean, expose anything that I wasn't supposed to. And that's how you curve it. You curve it, and then you erase stuff here, and try not to erase something that you're not supposed to erase, because if you do, then you gotta undo it all. Either that or don't save it. But and then here I had to move this line over. This is one thing too. I moved here. I might as well go closer. Because I realized that I had to move this line over a little bit because it was in the wrong spot. That's where it was at first, but I wanted to move it over a little. And so I moved one little part here. See how it's more aligned now? And then so that's where it was before. So to move it over, I moved that the bottom part. Then I moved the top part, and now it's more in the spot. Here you can probably see that better here. There's a technique of this. I just learned it. And to be honest with you, I just took that one square part here, and I cut it in half. And then I just turned that one a little bit. And I turned that one a little, and turned that a little bit, and it was more in the right spot. You see this a little bit off there. But anyway. Then too, I adjusted this a little, just a little bit like that. See, so you can see my copy of my curve. So it was off there too. This is after I adjusted a little bit more. I mean, it was way worse. Then I did the top. I did that the same way, the same technique there that I just learned. Actually, because I'm like, how in the heck am I supposed to move this line? I know it's not in the right spot, but how am I going to do it? So I moved it there, and then what you do is you erase everything around it. But if you erase something that you're not supposed to erase, you'll see it right away, and you're like, oh, then you have to undo it. Undo, and sometimes if you got like 100 undos, you can actually save it. But if you can't, you just gotta start over. Well, okay, and then so that's where it was, and I moved that over, and I moved that over, and then erase it around so that you get rid of the mismatches. Because if you don't, the mismatches are going to be there, and then it's going to look like crap. But alright, and then too, and I got this a little bit, kind of more, just a little bit. I mean, I just moved that a little. You can see where my copy of the curve is. So I just kind of got that in the right spot, and I erased here and erased there to get rid of the mismatches. Then here too, this is where it was, I guess, when I first did it, and because this is where I moved it. This is where it was, and I just took it apart and I just moved it over there where it was supposed to be. And that was a big move there. And it really looked awful at first, but I kept on adjusting things until I got it to work. So that's how much it was off at first. I don't know where and two, then I moved this over to this is another time I moved the technique over. I did it like this. I did a little technique here. You can see the mismatch there. And then I erased it. You can tell where I erased it. Really, the copy of that curve really does help. And then I erased it all around here. And see, and then I had to move it over here too, because I seen the this is where it was, and I had to move it to get to where my copy of the curve is supposed to be. You can see where that is. You know, that's where it's supposed to be. And that's where it was. And then so I just take the whole piece and move it over and and try to work with it later. You know, I mean, try to get it in there, and you know, you got to move it. And then here I moved this one over too. I said, all right, I got to move that over because that's where it was. Actually, that's what it did look like, actually. And then I moved it over there. Then this is a cover. I erased it too much here. So I was seeing through here, so I just put this cover on there because I accidentally erased it over too much. Like I said, I ran out of my 15 things, so I just, well, since I erased it too much, I'll just put this over and hide my mistake. And it worked. That's first thing I did that, because you can see right through it. And then this is the top. I got that in the right spot a little bit better. But then when you start moving this stuff, it makes everything else not look good. Then you got to keep on erasing it. I got rid of this part. I just got rid of that. That was the reason I put that there. Onto, and then to get this here, this part here, this is after I after I got the engine. What I did is I made the engine. I like this. I put the engine right in here, right exactly where it was supposed to go. I mean, this part here, I put it exactly where the engine was supposed to go. I sized it, and then so all I did was I cut it here, I angled it, and then I put it back like I did with the tail. And then I stretched it. I just stretched it. So this is where it was supposed to go, because I lined it up with the line here, and then I lined it up with the line here, and I lined it up with this line here and line here. And I just stretched that because technically that's all it is anyway, because if I know this is in the right spot, well, obviously this needs to be stretched. So then I got that stretched. And then this is the bottom too, and that's how much it was off too. And you can see my curve when it was here. This is where the curve's supposed to be here, and this is where I had to move it. But every time you move it, it's going to screw up your picture. But I had to erase all kinds of stuff underneath there with the eraser. Oh, I don't see what I'm doing. So then every time I did it, I had to erase. Oh, this is oh, that hole, I just covered it up. That's what I did. That's what I did there. And I did the bottom stretch. And I stretched that, and then this is the middle, the line too. That's how much I had to move it to see my curve. It's way off. And this is when I first started doing it. And then I'm like, I gotta turn it. I mean, there ain't nothing I gotta turn it. I just, but and you can see that I was able to, you know, make it work. And oh, and this is smaller engine. So this is when I made it smaller. Here, I probably should just get rid of my copy of my curves here and things. So this is when I made it the right size, the engine. So I just lined it up on this line here, and this line here, and on this line here. And I just made it the right size. And then I did that, like I said, I stretched this out, and I stretched the bottom, and then I stretched the top. Because this I know is in the right spot. And then that's how I did that. I mean, so this is when I just first put it in here. It's really big. Then what you do is then you make one the right size. Make the first one, make it really big, and the second time you make it the right size, because then it'll look. Well, here you can probably see. Here you can see. So this is the first time So that's the first time I put the engine in. And then the second time I made it the right size. So even if it's like that, when you look on the model, it looks pretty good. Even though it, because you're mainly seeing, this part here, but then all this other stuff gets stretched in and it kind of just meshes and, but yeah. And here I'll put all this stuff back together again. And it's a smaller engine and middle forward section. Well, I should probably, well, maybe I'll do it without the copy of the curve so you can see better. Okay, and then bottom engine stretch. And the hole I cover, well, here, maybe I should just start over. So you see here. Okay, we're there. Smaller engine. And I move that. Then bottom engine stretch. And a masking tape cover. And bottom part. Then I just made that. And top stretch. And you see my line, it's crooked as heck. I mean, it looks awful. And I guess that was just a thing that I covered up there. Then I had it curved that over. I was like, well, that's got to be curved. But you can see what happens to your line. And then this is the one I made a mistake. I erased too much. And see, then I had to turn it like this, because it was in the right spot, and then I had to turn that over. And you can see, I mean, it kind of looks impossible. And then I kind of made these go together like that. I bent that over, and I erased all around here until it looked nice. Oh, and this is, I moved it over a little there to here. Well, maybe I should do this more. And this, I realized that that's got to be moved a little. And that was moved there like that. And then I just erase around the edges. Then I realized that's got to be moved. And I moved this. I made another part, and this is the part I think I erased too much here, or maybe it was here. I erased too much here. Oh, this is the bottom part. I just had to move that over. And I think another thing that I found out works really good is I took 4 pieces. I think this is where I done that. I took 4 pieces. I took a top section, kind of a quarter section here and a quarter section here and a quarter section. I put 4 pieces and I just adjusted them and did them all at once. And I aligned and I made it. And actually, that was the first time I'd done that. And actually, then it was a little bit easier working with 4 pieces to put in all at the same time. And it kind of helped, actually. That was something I learned, I did a little bit later on in the thing. But here then I got this to go there, and that I had to adjust again, and that. Then I realized I got to turn that a little bit. Oh, I know what that is. And then this is the front engine stretch. So when I stretch that, well, maybe I should get rid of this other engine because I don't use that engine. I don't need it anymore. And so when I covered that up, and then I made it there. Bottom engine, that was when I did that, and then bottom front like that, and I covered that up so you wouldn't see that there. And actually here, this is just kind of like on the bottom, so it's actually, you don't have to have that looking very good anyway. But nevertheless, if you don't put something there, it's going to be white. And I just put that there to cover up this thing here. It looked terrible, and so and then you could erase it a little bit to make it kind of see-through. So you can, and it actually it kind of worked. That's the other one, and then all those little lines. So basically, yeah. So that's how I got my engine to fit. I mean, to work like that. So that was how I got that engine done. Okay, then I got that done, then I just made a new one, because you can see you got all this stuff here, and the thing is it gets so confusing after a while. So that's why it's just better to make a new one, because I made a new one after I got the tail done. I just made a new one. I just copied the bitmap over with one layer here, and then started on this one. And it's too confusing also, and it's very easy to screw something up too. And you got so much stuff there. But anyway, then don't save it because I don't want to save it. Okay, and then so that was my second one, and my third one here. But actually, this is probably one of the hardest things to do, actually. Along with the fuselage. But this actually, this is very kind of frustrating to do. But okay, now see where. Oh, this is when I was doing that part here. This part here, I was moving this over. Because for some reason it wasn't lining up, so I had to move that over. I don't know why it wasn't lining up, but so then I decided to move that over. Well, here I might as well. So this, I guess, when I was working on that thing, this actually took me longer than I figured it would. It wouldn't. So I was just ended up moving those things over. Usually I can get it. I mean, the other one I didn't. Oh, then where this is. Oh, I think this might be the other one. It is, I don't know what it is. And I had to put a part in there. So I just kind of, oh, that just got rid of that crack. I don't even know what to, oh, this, I was trying to make that blend a little bit better. Here. This is the part where it was hitting in the, I mean, here I had to make up myself because this part was gone because of the tail. So I had to just invent my own there. So I just, you know, made copied pieces and so I kind of put it together. And this I just kept on copying stuff until I got it together. Oh, this is when I moving this here. Usually I don't try to do that. Usually I try to get everything to fit right, but this time, I mean, I got the tail done and I got everything done, and I realized that something's not right, so I just had to do the last resort thing. And then here, this is the thing where I decided to put in here. And two, I had to fix the shiny part. I mean, this part with the because otherwise, this thing is chrome. This white part here, so I had to go in and make this green in the alpha channel thing. Otherwise, it was just silver. I mean, it looks chrome because the white will look like chrome. And I think I'd done well. I can I'll show you. Oh, I could probably just I mean, I know what I'm talking about here. This is the stuff that makes it shiny. So now if I look here, that this is this is how I figure out where I'm supposed to put all the stuff, because here you don't know where anything is. But here, this is where this part is here, so I had to make it green. So I just then you get rid of that, because this purple stuff makes it shiny. Purple stuff is what makes it shine, and this part I had to put this here, the green over that. So all right. No, what the heck? Where am I now? Oh. Then oh, I'm taking this part, and then I had to move that over a little. And this is oh, this is when the first time I made it. So this is where it's supposed to go, and I realized it was a little bit off. So that's when I had to adjust it. Make a little adjustments there. And then, you know, I stretch it out there. And then you kind of adjust it to get it there. And then too, I erase it around here so there's no mismatch there. You can do that with the paintbrush. And this is just got in there in the layer. And so that's kind of what I started out with. So here now, I guess I'll try to put it together. So there, and move that there, and fix that there. Gotta hope this is not taking too long. I don't want to. But we'll go take a look at the airplane too. I'm not going to take it for a flight, but we'll take a look at the airplane. So that's the one done that I thought I was done. But then I had to see how I move that. I had to realize that's not in the right spot. Then I moved that over, and then this one I moved over. This one I just put it together. Made that. And that I just kind of made that to kind of make this blend a little bit, to kind of like hide my thing. You know, just kind of made it see-through. I can't see. This one's making that. I don't even know what this is doing now. There. Ah, darn it. I know I just ruined my tail picture. Oh, and actually this is all put back together, more or less. Alright. So then that's my thing on that one too, and you can see how much stuff is here just in doing these things. And don't save it. And alright. Okay, and then third, now this is the fourth one. Fourth one I made. Now this is where I made this engine here. So and this is how this ended up. Or no, oh, this is when I made this. Oh. Well, I think maybe I made both those. I think I made both these on the same one. So this is when I started to make this thing. And I put this together. So I put that part there. See this part here. Then I put that part there to cover up that thing. And cover up that one because I copied that over and it didn't look good, so I fixed it. So that's how I made that there. And also this is after this is the first time I put it in here, but this is after I completed it. I just copied this over to here. That's the first time I put it in. Then that's how I copied it. And this is how I made the thing. And I moved it a little bit there. And then I put that in to kind of just for the top of it. And this I just put over the top to have something over the top. And here I put the little part in there. In this square I just I seen that it wasn't in the right spot. And so I just moved it up like that. Because you can't see that anyway. So I thought at first it would matter, but no, it doesn't matter. And then I resized this because I realized that this is supposed to be the right size here. And then I just put that in the top part. I move that over. Oh, and then this is where I started out at first. Actually, you know what? Where did I make those engines? Maybe I made another one. Did I make 5? What the heck? Where did I make those engines? That other engine. Yeah, did I miss one? So 2. Maybe I missed one. Yeah, maybe I must have missed one. Obviously. But anyway, this is I just put it back together again. So this is stuff I was just trying to cover up. Right here, maybe I can try to show you guys how stuff went together here. See, I tried to fit this to here. And I tried to make that there the front tip, and I just started putting stuff together. Well, that's the completed one. Black cover, I just covered that up, bottom part. And I just put that on the top there. Oh, this is where the... See, actually it was supposed to go here. Actually, that was kind of one thing that was baffling me. This is where it was supposed to go, but it ended up way over here. So I'm just like, you know what? I was like, oh, here. Now this, I made this just the size here. I says, well, I know that, so I tried to make that one part fit where it's supposed to go. So I sized it up here, this line here. I don't know. Oh, here. So I tried to line that up there, and started putting it together, and this is the one I started out with. That's layer 2 and layer 3. And the front tip, put that together. And this is the completed part. Just copy that over. There, and then that's it. And this little white part don't even show up. So I just left it there. So evidently I missed a section here. I don't know which one I missed. Oh yeah, here. This is this part here. Furthest aft undertail. Oh, this. What? Wow, this 3. What the heck? Am I missing a whole section here or something, or what? This is no, this is the engine. It's doing well. What the heck? Where did I get that one from? Oh wow. I don't know where that one came from. So then I got 4. How did I? How did I make that engine? If I don't have a spot for it, what? You mean it's gone? Oh man. That's evidently so how did I make that engine there, the nozzle thing? Oh, come on. Or did I make it somewhere else? Now I'm really... Now I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I hope I didn't. Maybe I deleted it. Well, that's not good. Unless I made it in the DC-10 one. Oh, that's not, I don't know. I don't know what in the heck. Well, you know, maybe I accidentally deleted it. Huh. That's something that that I didn't Um, wow. 3. The 3 is top. Oh no, here it is. Here. Okay, here. This is number 3. All right. This is the farthest aft rudder. What? Oh, so I guess maybe I made the bottom part in with this one. All right. All right. So this is when I was doing this here. I put the bottom part in with the engine. I realized I didn't. So this is when I was doing the engine. Because this there will be a white spot, so I had to fill it in. Then I had to turn that over. Okay, here we'll just start out from the beginning here. All right. I don't even know what's happening there. So I had a spot I had just copied and pasted in there. And that I just turned that over because I needed something to put up there, and then that. Well, this is the other one. Then this just something I curved a piece over. I mean I erased it and I just curved it to put it in there. Oh, so I guess I worked those in together there. Oh yeah, too, and I got rid of those. I paint here. These are these things there. There's supposed to be a hole there, but I just used the paint and I realized that they didn't look good there. And it was masking tape. There's masking tape over the top of these holes here. You can see there's masking tape over. At first, I wasn't paying much attention to it, and I looked at it. I'm like, what? That's masking tape over there. So I'm like, well, all right. So I painted it. I just painted the masking tape. But oh, here, this is all in the upper part too. There's a part there. Oh, here, all this stuff is up here. So then this is after I completed the nozzle. I'd put it over there. Then I had to move that over. Then I realized that this purple stuff, that stuff up here, it looked like crap. So I just tried to cover it up and invent my own made thing here. And I see that showed through a little bit. And then I moved that a little, and there. This is the part that I made. I just flipped this over. I mean, I just did my technique. I just flipped it over like that. And then adjusted there. I just covered that up because that's I think here. I think that was there. I don't know, I don't remember. You know, there it is. Yeah, because it's upside down. And there's that one. Yeah, so then you just flip it over. Because one's upside down from the other, you just gotta flip it. And see, this is the nozzle that I just first put in there. You can tell this is where the tail goes because I had to make this up myself. So this is the last one, then I'm gonna take a look at the airplane. Yeah, I think maybe I think this is enough. But you get the idea. Okay, now and another thing that too I wanted to, and you know, on these antenna things, I got the little note thing that I was gonna go through, like the antennas, to I don't know if oh, I probably don't have it here. Oh, it's another one. Oh, maybe I don't have a. Maybe I just have one here. Thought I had more. Oh no, it's my other one. The 11 here. Color code. This is the thing I wanted to show you. This thing, if you don't know where the stuff goes, just get some. I mean, if you're really confused on where these parts go, because you know you really don't know, so just go in here and paint them different colors. You know, paint all these parts different colors. Then I was having trouble if you're having trouble, you don't know where something's going, and you really want to know what's going on, and sometimes you have to. And then so you just color code everything and save this, and then go look on the airplane and go see where everything's supposed to go. And this really does help a whole lot. I mean, when you really get confused about stuff, because bitmaps could be put things anywhere you really don't know. And so then with this color code, you could figure out where the stuff really is. So I found out this one too. This is static wick, and the tail. It's like right here, the static wick, and this is the other one. It goes right here. Took me. I'm like, what the heck is that? But for a while, that one was a tough one for me. But okay, and then that, and then oh, another thing with this model is um no, not these Hawaiian is this is the one. And I think this is all the way and almost almost the last one I done. Not sure. Oh, actually, I know it's the last one here. The fifth one here. But as far as mismatching, when you have a mismatch, so what's happening here is when I was doing the fuselage here, I had to make so the fuselage splits right here. I mean, it goes to the other one. So this part is the aft fuselage. Or not the aft, but the mid part. So this, I had to make this up. I just made it up. So right here is right where it splits. So I said, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just make it right in the middle here. And then I'm going to just put this part over to there. On the other one. So when I match up this part to this part, it will match. Because that's actually probably one of the hardest things to do. With this model, it's not so bad. Because if you line it up with this window here, if you cut this in half here and take this part and line it up with this window here, sometimes it could take you a while. I mean, like I took the other one, yeah, it was like 8 or 9 hours before I figured out how to not have a mismatch. Because when you have a mismatch from one part to the other, it's really hard to figure out when you can't even see where you're supposed to put the thing. You know, and that could be very troublesome. But with this model, though, is if you line it up with this window, like you cut this part here and then line it up with this window on the other one. So on this one here, I had to fix it here. This is a perfect example of how to do this because I didn't demonstrate how to do that. But because it's cut in half here, so I had to match this end up with the other end. I'm like, well, all right, well, I'll just have to do it, you know, because at first I thought it would fit there, but it doesn't. You know, when I look at it here, it's like I'm like, oh yeah, that fits perfect. You know, but when I was looking in the model, I can see that that it's cut off here, cut off here. Now I'm gonna try and show you guys how how you would do that. So what I done is I copied this part over. It's kind of an example. I copied this over here. And I think I lined it up with this window here. But I don't see. I'll try to get this other one. Because actually that could be very, very hard to do. Well, this is when I did it. Oh, here, this is what I done here. I think this video is already getting pretty long, but this is some stuff that's really, really hard to do. So so the part that I moved over there, I don't know. So this is what I was doing. The antenna, floating H. Okay, alright, that's what I call the floating H, the floating N. So I took so this is the part where I put paint on it and I pasted it here. I mean, I just got rid of some of my stuff there. That's not my point. But the point is here, wait, where's one? How did I do that? Two. This is another thing. Oh, all right. Now I got to get rid of this other thing here. So I got to do these two here. But I got to get rid of all this stuff here. Kind of. All right, get that one. Okay, so this is what I copied over. So when I first done it, and I'm not floating. I need then part and that part. So Hawaiian. This is the N. So this, what I done is here is I took this and I copied this, and I lined it up with the next window here. So this window here is here. So see what I mean? You line it up with the next window. So I took this part off here, and I copied this whole section over. And this is the next window here, but it's not on this bitmap here, because it's over here. And that's what I was trying, with this model, and not all models are like that, but this model, I noticed that's the way it was, and that's really nice, because that is so much help. Because, I mean, you could sit there for 10, 15 hours trying to figure out where it's supposed to line up. I mean, seriously, I mean, when you got it with this texture, this aluminum texture like that, I mean, it's got to be perfect. I mean, if it was like, I mean, with the photorealistic ones, anything that's photorealistic, it's got to be perfect on there. Otherwise, there's going to be a big mismatch in there, and it's going to really. So anyway, so that's how you get this over to there. So, oh, here I can show you that. Here I can just, I'll just move this here. So, oh no. This is when to move. So here, so all right. So I took this over. All right. So I copied this over. I dragged this over, and I put this over. So, and then you come over here, and this is from here. You can see that that's this window here, and this is that part. Then you come over here, and you line this up with this window here, and then you try to make it fit, and you just, and if something don't fit there, which I found out that to get a more accurate fit, you come all the way in, just zoom all the way in as far as you can go, until you can't move it no more. Then take this part, and then take this. And this will give you a more well, and also this is another thing that is with this model, is that this, for some reason they made them different sizes, because this should fit, normally in any other model you can take one side and paste it on another, and or from one part to the other, and it's going to fit exactly. But here you can see that it doesn't line up. Even though I got the window in the right spot, you can see that it don't line up. But actually here is let's line it up with, see, I can't do it. I gotta come in closer. So I gotta line it up with this top part here. This is how I done it. Some reason to make an accurate adjustment, you gotta just zoom it all the way in. Okay, and then you look here and it's like, oh man, there's a mismatch. Like, oh fuck. Oh, sorry, I swore. but you're like, oh man. And so what I done is I just resized it. I think I did a Control T or something, and I don't know exactly what I done, but maybe I just moved the line. Then undo free transform. So, but then anyway, that's one thing with this model too. I think maybe I just moved this line up was because I noticed that these went together here, and so I think I just moved the line up. I'm not sure what I done, but that's one thing with this side that I found out was a big problem. But anyway, I'm not going to go through all that again, but anyway, I just wanted to show you how you would do one side over to the with the fuselage over and resize it with the window. That's a perfect perfect example of how to do that, because I did not describe how to do that. Then there's a start picture. This start picture, when you make it start photo. This is the start photo when you find in the game. All you do is gotta paste it in here, and this is really small. I mean, and like you just kind of got to keep on resizing it. Like you just kind of got to like this is like really tiny, but you got to use the edit transform or the Control T. Then you got to see. So this picture was actually really big, but so you got to keep on. So the first time you put it in, it's gonna go in there, and you're gonna, like, you know, because when you first put it in, because these pictures are just really tiny. Because when you first get it in, your picture's gonna be huge. I mean, it's probably even. I mean, this is. And I'm sure it's a lot huger, but I mean, it's huge. And then you could be like, what the heck? You know. And then so what you do is you kind of keep on squishing it. Then squishing it. Then you just got to keep on squashing it until it's the right size. And that's how to get you know, after you take a picture of what you want. And then there, see, and then finally it's manageable there.
And there, and then, you know, then there, that's how you get that one down to size. Alright, alright. I think I done everything that, that I was supposed to cover there. And I'm gonna just start it up, take a quick look, and then we'll look how it looks in an airplane, and then conclude this video, which I didn't mean to be this long, but there's really some hard stuff to cover there. I mean, it really, some of the last thing, but actually that last one was actually, you know, pretty rough. I think maybe that's why I save it for last. But also I don't have a whole airplane until I can get a fuselage done. So anyway, here's what it looks like. Well, I was going to try and show you what here. These getting these to match here. I was going to take out the prototype. Why don't I just do that here? I was going to take out this for the tail. This is the shiny stuff, because for some reason you can't really see very much with that shiny stuff. I mean, it kind of makes things darker. But if you're trying to make the airplane, you should probably make it without using the shiny stuff at first and just put the shiny stuff in later. See, that's that start photo that I just clicked on. You see this really small? That's the one the last thing I showed you. Here now, there's without the shiny stuff in there. You can kind of see more, because with the shiny stuff you can't really see all the detail. But here, this is the stuff that had trouble lining up here. These here. So here you can clearly. Actually, the airplane almost looks better like that in a way. I mean, but it doesn't shine though. I mean, so I don't know, maybe kind of a loss, maybe. I mean, a little. But here, this is the tail without the shiny stuff, which actually it's kind of still looks pretty good. I mean, I'm kind of actually don't mind even taking that out and just leave it like that. Actually, you know, I mean, it really, that could be maybe that might be a better idea. So if you have this model, maybe just take that out if you want to have it look
look like that, because actually it looks better like that, honestly. And here's that tail that I fixed there. Do see the mismatch here. See, you can kind of see it a little. You know what the mismatch thing? This is where it was, the crack was here. This is the one that covered up. But this is where it is in this tail. So I wish I would have known that when I first started out, but I didn't catch it right away. So after I got everything sized and everything in the right spot, I'm like, oh man. Like, how in the heck do I fix that? And I'm like, I was looking at that and I was trying, and I'm like, man, I think I looked at it for 3 or 4 hours, maybe 3 hours, maybe about 3 hours. And I'm like, how in the heck? So I tried to fix it by making this thing a little bit bigger and trying to move it all over. I'm like, well, jeez, you know what? I was like, don't even mess with it, because I was screwing it all up. It was looking oblong, and so I'm just cover up the crack, and then heck with it if it's off, you know. But you wouldn't have known that unless I told you. But anyway, and this is how it was screwed up and how nice that is. Actually, and everything just fits. Turns like that. That's all in the right spot. And actually, I kind of noticed here. This is kind of in the wrong. Actually, now that the shiny stuff is off of it, I can see a little bit better. I can see it. This is kind of in the wrong spot here. And I think those are the static wicks, those 2 static wicks I was telling you. I think those are right there. The color-coded ones here, you can see that there. But I kind of like that engine, just the way, see this, the way it looks there. I mean, it kind of looks alright, just like that, actually, you know. I mean, could almost just keep it like that, and then actually it may actually I think that looks perfectly fine the way that is, actually, if not better. But it won't shine though. But I don't know. But here, I'll put that back in. And start it up again, and you'll see this I think this video was too long. See, that's the little start menu, and so when you go customize, see, then that's when you get the bigger picture. So there's two pictures. You got a big one and a small one. But this I didn't make the picture yet. I just made it. But you can see, I'll get to it. By the time this video is done, it'll be done. I mean, and now here's the tail with the shiny stuff on it. You see, it kind of makes it shine, and otherwise it wouldn't shine. But you can kind of see how it kind of ruins the detail a little bit. But it otherwise it won't shine though. And then this part has the green part here, and this part has the green part also. Otherwise this would be just chrome. But anyway, so that's the tail. Actually, it's probably one of the one of the most difficult things to do in the model is the tail and engine. Mainly because of these lines here. They're straps or whatever. But here, this looks pretty good there. I mean, it looks good. So here you can't even tell that there's the thing in this because of that. That's why there was other there. Otherwise, I would have fixed it, but I couldn't tell. But I think it looks better with the shiny stuff. See how nice that shine? But anyway, yeah. So this is my last video, and an airplane is done. Oh, here's antennas. Here, I'll get close up of the antennas. That's antenna right there. On the bottom, that I don't have on my American one. When I didn't cover the engines on how I did that, but I'm not going to now. But mainly it's that one's really hard. So anyway, one of the last things I'd probably show you is that's the Hawaiian, and that's the American. So this is the American that I made. It's the first one I done. And see how they're different, they're totally different airplanes though. See how I did the antennas there. Just made this one white and then it's a little bit darker on the bottom because I didn't know what they look like. But anyway, which is better, the American or the Hawaiian? American or the Hawaiian? I think they both look good. But this one I had to lighten up the top of it here. I had to lighten up this whole section. Actually, it was a little bit more involved in this than that, but the Hawaiian I did not lighten up at all. That's the one thing I never done. I never lightened up anything except for this tail here. But this one really shines. That's Hawaiian. That's the American. So anyway, that's the last of this video, and by this time you can get the American at explain.to, and by this video, Hawaiian will be there also. So anyway, thanks for watching, and give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and download the airplane and fly it around. Right, thanks a lot. It's a DC-1030. It's actually a fictitious airline, you know, but I just love the bare metal, and with this shiny texture stuff, I'm like, I know it's gonna look good, and it really does. So anyway, I'll probably do a Northwest one later, maybe a few months from now. And my other American, whenever I finish that, I guess it from a DC-10. But it might take a few months. I got a lot of work to do. This took me 2 months out of my summer. And I was doing this almost like 12, 15 hours a day. Pretty much. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hope you learned something from this video, and hopefully maybe I'll see some repaints from you guys. Okay, catch y'all later. Okay, bye.